Hello. Happy Thursday. Happy Thursday. Happy Thursday. Hi, everybody. Hello, everybody. Come on in, say hello. Come on in, say hello. I think this week probably has hello, Miss Abina. Congratulations. Congratulations, Miss Abina. I'm so excited for you. I haven't seen Miss in the sanctuary. Hi, everyone. Come on in. Say hello. When you come in, there she is. Good evening. According to your troublesome friend who is asking, who's that? Okay, probably, I don't know. Y'all don't, it's too early. It's too early to start. Hi, everyone. Come on in. Say hello when you come in. Let us know where you're joining in from. Let's know where you're joining in from. You're welcome. It's super exciting. Super exciting. So, if you're just joining us for the first time, say hello. If you're joining us from another country, which we usually do have people join from other countries, let us know. Let us know what states. If this is your first time, let us know. But welcome to the most positive space in social media. I don't know how Miss in this sanctuary puts it, but something along those lines. Yeah. To the most positive immigration space on social platforms. That's it. Safe space to celebrate immigration victories and ask questions about new policies on immigration with the one and only Cecilia right here, aka Cecilia. Any other is a counterfeit. Just saying. Just saying. But hi everyone, this is Attorney Abisola Adubola Olale, immigration attorney based in Alabama, representing immigration clients in all 50 states. Got an immigration case. If it's a case that we handle, this is the number to call, 334-341-4475. The website to go is olalelawfirm.com. Yeah. Can you tell us along me? Y'all just bear with me. I'm just glad tomorrow's Friday. Facebook, TikTok, Instagram, subscribe to the YouTube channel. Any other, listen. All right. Any other one has vibe check and should be. Gotta love my girls. Please subscribe to our YouTube channel at Olale Immigration on all platforms. Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, TikTok. Just put in Olale Immigration. Anyone, well, I was going to see if anyone shows up, and then anyone else shows up, it's not me. But unfortunately, we've got people. We still got some text today. Someone has another TikTok account with my profile picture, and it's frustrating because you just don't know the people, because they you post that and the next they open another account. And the frustrating part is people are actually being scammed. They're getting money from people, and then they call us and say, hey, you said you're going to meet with me, but we never got a consultation information. Like, that wasn't us. And now we have to deal with craziness. I've had to deal with banks before saying, hey, this is the name, card order girls. Like, it wasn't me. It's I'm laughing because if you can't cry, you laugh. But so just so you guys are aware, that is still ongoing, unfortunately. But it is what it is. But once again, our contact number is 334-341-4475. Visit our website, olalelawfirm.com. When in doubt, before you make any payment, the one thing we always tell people is we never ask you for your credit card information. Justice. We never ask you for your card information. We never ask you, because if you're going to do a consultation with me, you're going to pay for that consultation yourself. So you get a link, or you go through our website. That's how you're going to do it. We never ask you for any information. So that should be, red flag number one. If they're telling you, hey, this is, or give us your account details, we don't do that. If you retain our services, you're going to deal with me directly when it comes to retaining my services. You're not dealing with anyone. We're emailing from me. So just so you guys are aware, and just be on the lookout because that's still ongoing. But anyway, other than that, we'll be glad to represent you in your immigration case. Once again, our contact is 334-341-4475. Tuesdays and Thursdays, I come on live. We talk about all things immigration. And so that's what we're doing tonight. But tonight, okay, so quick updates. Not a whole lot, but the main update is the fact that the parole in place, which a lot of my clientele do not qualify for, but we've got quite a hand. I actually had more people than I thought I would have retain our services for that. But the update on that is USCIS, the federal court, has extended the injunction period. So it was for 14 days. Now it's been extended to September 23rd. So it's, that's just what it is. But so what does that mean? It just means USCIS cannot approve any parole in place application, but they're accepting them and they're back on doing biometrics again. So that's great. And forms have been updated. There, some of the most popular forms we use: I-765 work authorization, I-140 immigrant petition for alien worker. I hate to use that, but alien immigrant worker, and I-45 green card application. So October 28th is the cutoff date for using any previous version or the current the April 2024 version. So make sure you are up to date on the editions of the forms that you submit. What else in updates before we get to our main topic? I think that's all I can think of right now. But I want to talk about something that's really, really very, very important. So if you have someone who is Nigerian and thinking about, hello, Anthony Sennett, thinking about getting a divorce, please tell them, text them, call them, Snapchat them. What else? T, what do you young people do? Snapchat, whatever it is. Tell them to come listen. This is what they want to watch. Before they embark on getting a divorce from the Nigerian, soon to be ex-spouse, soon to be ex-Nigerian spouse, here's what you want to know. So we're talking tonight about divorcing your Nigerian spouse. Divorcing your Nigerian spouse. Hear me like, hello, fine Shandy. How are you, beautiful lady? Oh, threat them. Okay. I've heard about this threat thing. I keep seeing people like, why am I threatening? Don't threaten me. I don't even know. I don't know what it is. But y'all just, it's a whole lot. Like, gone are the days where things were just simple. Technology to me is making things more difficult. Like, even broke don't fix it. That's me. But anyway, I digress. All right. So divorcing your Nigerian spouse. I'm doing well, Fantasy Andy. How are you? Thank you for asking. Can keep people on social media. That's for you young people, because it's like what I deal with is a whole lot. And thank God I've got this girl who helps us with our social media platform. Excellent girl, Kyla. Because if not, geez. I mean, from time to time I'll put some, like, if it's a selfie, I'll put it. I ain't gonna tell someone to put a selfie up for me. That's gonna be like, I don't know. Anyway, okay. Serious business. The number one reason for denial in applications filed by Nigerians. Who can take a wild guess? Yes, Nigerian divorce decree. That's the number one reason for denial in cases involving Nigerians who have divorce decrees from back home. Let us talk about getting divorced from your Nigerian spouse. And let me put this disclaimer out there. When this whole thing of a Nigerian divorce decree, probably saga is what I term it as, did not start until sometime 2021, end of COVID 2021, because I even have some cases that when I started studying and I'm still trying to, because there's some states that have a different format in Nigeria that I'm like, okay, I haven't seen that before, but I'm always learning each day. But then I've got cases pending of like, oh shoot, that divorce decree we submitted is not really genuine, truth be told, because nobody was checking divorce decrees. Like, okay, you got divorced. Where's your divorce decree? Here it is. Okay, let's go. Right. But because it's now become so prevalent that USCIS literally has a whole unit open up for investigating documents from Nigerians. Yes, they do. USCIS officers will probably even be able to tell you how to go get a divorce in Nigeria because they have mastered what they're supposed to, and the Nigerian and the Nigerian consulate also tells them what to look for. We're seeing a lot of cases being denied because of Nigerian divorce decree, not just in the first step of getting your green card. What USCIS is now doing now is actually when you file, because let's say your 2-year green card was fine, right? Now you filed an I-751. They're using the opportunity when you file the I-751 to actually pull up your file and see the divorce decree you submitted to get your 2-year green card. If it doesn't conform to the format they have now, they are going to deny the case. And then that means you're going to probably have to start all over again, especially if it's just a crappy divorce decree that there's no arguing about. So if you have not gone through a divorce and you've not filed anything, you are in the best position right now to listen to me tonight. So let's talk about that. Divorcing your Nigerian spouse, where should you get the divorce? That's the number one question you should ask yourself. Why is that important? Because if you are living, because obviously, if you're getting a divorce, that means somebody is here. You're about to start a green card process. Your soon-to-be ex-spouse is either here as well. Because most of us, I came in single, but most of us, yes, it's a lawyer. I just see interview new, but I love when you visitor visa interview at any issues. That's what at any issues, yeah. And we already started the divorce process, but we said, okay, let's just apply for a visa and see if we can reconcile. So let's come to the US and try to make it work, but it didn't work. Let me roll my eyes more than one. Yes. And then now we're going our separate ways. If I hear that story one more time, I'm going to freaking lose it. But guess what? I hear it almost every single day. But that's okay, right? But if you are, so the plan is somebody is here and or both of you are here, right? And now you're going your separate ways. Why in God's name would you now hire a lawyer back in Nigeria to get your divorce done for you? Like, make it make sense. Let's go through that. When you are going to get, now, I have been out of practice in Nigeria for 22 years. Yes, over 2 decades. I mean, I look it, but black don't crack. What can I say? But at least I know that because I've been out of circulation in Nigeria, in the Nigerian legal system, I've got to get people that are still practicing, who are still my colleagues, who are still my friends, and bounce ideas off of them. Jurisdiction is a big part of it. Jurisdiction is a big part of it. If USCI, so someone that I had a consultation with today, that's one of the reasons why I'm doing this. So if this helps someone else, look through your divorce decrees and say, yes, so this lady is filed a 751, has a 2-year green card, put in a 751. USCIS comes back and says, hey, by the way, we looked in your previous file and hello, epic movement, and your divorce decree is invalid. It's not genuine. Guess what was the first red flag for them, which they missed the first time, obviously. She got a divorce as the petitioning spouse, right? In the Nigerian legal system, and this is strictly about high court statutory divorce. I'm not talking customary court. I'm not talking Islamic marriage or customary marriage. I'm talking registry marriage, church court marriage, where you have to go to the high court to get divorced. Jurisdiction for the Nigerian high court to have jurisdiction over you, you must be domiciled in Nigeria. What does that mean? That means that at the time that the petitioning spouse, the person who is filing the divorce, at the time that you file that divorce, you must be domiciled in Nigeria, meaning you must be living, you have established residency in Nigeria. Either you have domicile of origin, so you were born there, or your parents are from there, so you live there, you grew up there, all of that, domicile of origin, and so that's where you live, or domicile of choice. You grew up somewhere else, another country, whatever the case may be, but now you live in Nigeria, and that you have the intention of making Nigeria, you have made Nigeria your permanent residence, domicile of choice. That means that one of the two must, so basically at the time you file as a petitioning spouse, you must be domiciled in Nigeria. In this lady's case, she had been in the United States for 5 years before she submitted her initial application, and she was the petitioning spouse. So USCIS missed it the first time when she submitted 751, because now she has a notice of intent to deny. I'm not really sure what the argument we want to make is, but I made her understand the reality of the matter is you may end up having to start again, because there is no how you can convince them that you, the petitioning spouse, at the time you said the divorce was filed, you were physically present in the United States. At the time the divorce was filed, you had spent, so she had spent 5 years before she filed her green card application, but I think the divorce was done 2 years after she came to the United States. So she was no longer domiciled in Nigeria. So if you're not physically present and living in Nigeria at the time you filed, because you must be physically present at the time you filed your the complaint, or because now they're doing Zoom hearing, but the domicile is still a mandatory requirement. How then could you have been the petitioning spouse? Right? If you're not there. So how in God's name could you have been a petitioning spouse? Yeah. That was what, so that's what we were having to deal with now. How do you make that argument? If you are considering getting a divorce from your Nigerian spouse from Nigeria, and both of you are physically present in the United States, and you have been present in the United States, and you are looking to get that divorce so that each of you can now go your separate ways. You know, hey, Joanne, but if it was separate ways, yeah, I get it. Don't ask and tell. Okay. Go your separate ways. That means that when you start your green card applications, you intend to make the United States your permanent residence. It's no longer going to be in Nigeria, right? You haven't even been in the down country for like 2 years, right? How in God's name do you now say you filed a divorce in Nigeria when both of you are here? That's red flag, ding, 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 sirens, everything. It's going to end up denied, because especially now the USCIS is aware of things to look for. So domicile of the petitioning spouse is mandatory in Nigeria. You've got to be living, your permanent residence has to be in Nigeria. So if you're here, that's a no-no. You cannot possibly get away with that. That's a no-no. Another thing, when you're divorcing your Nigerian spouse, if you're considering doing a Nigerian divorce, that's number one. If you don't have that domicile requirement, scratch it. Get your residency here and then file for divorce here. And another thing is this: if you are here and your soon-to-be ex-spouse is still back in Nigeria, and that soon-to-be ex-spouse is the petitioning spouse, they filed the divorce complaint, that is fine, because they're the ones that have to establish the domicile. They're the ones that have to establish the permanent residency there. And if they file a divorce and they send it to you here, you're not the petitioning spouse, okay. But here's where it gets tricky. Make sure that whoever it is that you were married to and they're back in Nigeria, they're sending you documents that are verifiable and that are genuine. If your suit number is wrong, if your ground for divorce is wrong, another big thing is when you've got minor children. The requirements in our system back in Nigeria, and I know this is especially for Nigerians, so if you're not Nigerian, I'm not excluding you, we'll get the questions later. I am Nigerian. I have to look out for my people. It is just what it is. I look out for all my clients, but this is a different kind of passion for me, because I hate to see the denials. And we've had that before in our firm, truth be told, because I'm now becoming very, versed in this. It wasn't an issue for me to pay attention to before until it became an epidemic, like I always say. Make sure that if you have kids between the two of you, and they're minor children at the time of the divorce, those kids have to be listed in your decree nisi. There is no exception to that. So that's a major red flag. If you've got children with your soon-to-be ex-spouse and your Nigerian divorce decree does not list the names of the children and who's going to have custody of the children in your decree nisi, that's not going to fly with USCIS. It's not. So another thing is this: what is the grounds on your divorce decree? I've seen all kind of stuff, but you took the mind. Is this? If your divorce decree nisi has on the ground of no more love, because love in total, because I'm not even trying to, because love don't and divorce to buy loving and to represent to really loving one. There's nothing in a Nigerian matrimonial causes there's no ground of no more love. There's nothing, no more love here. It's already no more love. There is no such thing as on the ground of no more love. If USCIS says that, I'm sure they always laugh because I don't know who came up with that. It's not a ground for divorce in the high court. Statutory, now customary divorce, Islamic divorce, you can use whatever wordings you want to do. That's okay. Brings me to my next point. If you did not have a court marriage, you didn't have a registry marriage, you've got absolutely no business getting a decree nisi decree absolute from the high court, because you're only going to complicate things for yourself. So jurisdiction number one, if you're not domiciled and you're the petitioning spouse, it's a no-no. If you are the ones here and the spouse back home is the one filing, okay, but make sure you have a lawyer representing your interest. Make sure they're going through the proper channel. They're not going and going to street law. No. It's not going to fly. So let's leave that alone. If you've got minor children, make sure that it's something that is considered. Their names have to be listed. Custody arrangement has to be included. Another thing, if you're divorcing your Nigerian spouse in Nigeria, Nigerian divorce, and that marriage was less than 2 years at the time you're filing for divorce, please understand you cannot file for divorce without what we call a leave of court, meaning you've got to have permission from the court to file for divorce if at the time you're filing for divorce the marriage is less than 2 years. If you don't have a leave of court to show USCIS and your marriage is less than 2 years when you file for divorce, that's it. End of story. Fake divorce decree. The issue with that is, it's not just only that you're going to have to start all over again because you're getting your divorce from your Nigerian spouse, ex-spouse, or who you thought was your ex-spouse. Some states require you to remarry your current spouse unless you're in a common law state. But then when you refile, USCIS is not going to, slap you with allegation of fraud, misrepresentation, willful misrepresentation, fraudulent documents. So how do you avoid all this fiasco? Just file your darn divorce in the United States and save yourself just file the darn divorce in the United States. In my state, in Alabama, for instance, I've had, and I didn't even know that there was quite a number of Nigerians in Alabama because my office is in a little town. But, I didn't even know. Someone was telling me that they had like a job meeting or something. And they usually would talk about paperwork and all that. And someone said, Sister Lawyer, I was like, just no. But, it's humbling. But I'm glad my name is coming out so they can get the information that they need. So 2 people were referred to me, divorce decree issue. And what we did in my state, for instance, as long as if the other spouse is in the country, excellent. But if the other spouse is outside the United States and they agree to waive service and to waive, the issue of personal jurisdiction, it's all about paperwork. So the one we did I just did one last month. We have everything assigned, completed. So in my state, Alabama has one of the fastest uncontested divorce process, because you file everything, the complaints, the plaintiff's testimony, answer waiver, settlement agreement, child support, child custody agreement. We file everything in our database. Once it's filed in the court system, it has to sit there for at least 30 days. On day 31, you can get your divorce. So a lot of people think it is complicated. It is a lot easier than you think it is. What is complicated is when you are messing with getting a divorce from the country you're no longer living, and then you've got to explain that to USCIS, right? And if you're someone whose petitioning spouse is back home and they send you a divorce decree, please do yourself a favor. Sit down with a lawyer. A lot of attorneys who do immigration and represent Nigerians do not really know what to look for. And it's not, to be in fairness to them, if someone from Ethiopia comes to me and says, hey, do you think my divorce decree, I can only go with the reciprocity schedule. I really would not be able to tell you exactly what, but because I am Nigerian, I know the system. Now I've really, really taught myself. I keep teaching myself and reaching out to my colleagues back home, like, hey, explain this to me. That's why I'm sharing that information with you now, so you can help yourself before it gets too late, right? Like this lady, to be honest with you, I think the only reason I explained out, that's me. Consultation is very, very thorough and very detailed. You will know exactly what we're doing. And I told her, like, listen, we'll file this I-290B, but it's probably just putting a Band-Aid on so we can get you your divorce done. And luckily for her, she's in Alabama, right? So it's a fast process. Get the divorce done and just put something in so you're not ending up in immigration court. But do yourself a favor, leave the divorce in Nigeria. If you've got lawyers who are working it and everything checks out, like what I said the requirements are, great. But if not, especially if you and your soon-to-be ex-spouse are here in the United States and you've established residency, let me see, what else is that right? You've established residency in the state you live in. For instance, in Alabama, for you to be able to file a divorce in Alabama, you must have lived there for 6 months. That's it. That's all. Residency for 6 months over the age of 19. I mean, at least 19 years old. End of story. So file it here. Leave the street lawyers if you want to. Just let them get another thing to focus on. Let's see. Balance by the children. Domicile. Okay. Uncontesting. And that's all sure, people. I know I get fired up with this because it's just, listen, I hate to get denials. I don't know anyone who has passion who likes to lose. It messes me up. Like it's like I can't even function the whole day. But I just want you guys, I want all of us to win. And if we're going to win, we've got to start and make sure that our foundation is steady. Because if the foundation is shaky, like your divorce decree is shaky, nothing else stands, no matter how much good faith evidence you have. And that's all sure, people. That's all sure. And yeah, I'm seeing you, but let's go to questions. Put your questions in the comment section. I'll try to get to as many as we possibly can. See, I almost lost my voice in this. This video is going to be up on all platforms: YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok. So if you have anyone you want to send it to, or if you want to use it yourself to go through your divorce decree, then that's fine. It will be up. We'll put it on our page. Okay. Yeah, thanks for joining. Like and subscribe to our YouTube channel at 𝒊𝒎𝒎𝒊𝒈𝒓𝒂𝒏𝒕 Immigration. That would be very much appreciated. Hello, Miss Cynthia. How are you? Hello, Mr. Sampson. Belinda from Dallas, Texas. Welcome in, Belinda. Thank you for joining. Hello, Mr. Davis. I am doing well. How about you and your family? Okay. My work permit was, disclaimer, general information, nothing specific to anyone's case. So no, this is just general information. It's not it's general. My work permit was expired. My work permit was expired, got a new one, but it doesn't have on the advanced parole as the one I had before, please, because it's not a combination card. That's all. The fact if you file it together, it doesn't necessarily mean they're going to approve it together. So if that was approved by itself, then your advanced parole will come later. Hello, Ghanaian wife. How are you? Officially on bed rest. 34 days to go. All the best. Wishing you a safe delivery. God willing, God's grace, perfect health for you and the baby. How difficult do you think it would be to get mom-in-law here to see her grandbaby? Well, I mean, you can send a letter of invitation, and what she has to do will be to apply for a visitor visa. How old is she? I think we may need to get your help to walk us through this. That's fine. contact us so we can set up consultation to discuss with you. 334-341-4475. Or go on our website, 𝒊𝒎𝒎𝒊𝒈𝒓𝒂𝒏𝒕. Very, very straightforward to set up a consultation there. Hello, Miss Valerie. How are you? Okay, so let's go to TikTok. Let's see. What's the time on the one? Brenda 5050, I love you here in Kansas City. Thank you for joining as well. On bed rest, I see that. Ghanaian wife. Let's see. I applied for a change of status, and you made adjustment of status, an I-130 and renewal of work permit. It was rejected twice. What can Adewale Oni, sit down with the lawyer. That's what you need to do. VAW approved, AOS held in abeyance. Should I inform field office about approval? I usually do. VAW offices usually would send your file there to the field office that has jurisdiction over your case. But I usually do, just because it's I wanted to say the name, I call it behind the scene. Let's just leave that alone. But because it's USCIS, and because they're human, they we all make errors. So I just would send a courtesy, a copy of the approval notice, like, hey, by the way, my client has the approval of the I-360. Now can we resume the adjudication of the I-485? Can a green card holder file for spouse waiting on asylum? You asked a question the last time, I believe. Okay, please do not repeat questions. Adewale, if I knew you repeated your question, I would have skipped it. I will skip the question if you repeat it. It's just being fair and being respectful. I mean, I'm not really sure what else. We say it all the time. Don't repeat questions. I need a consultation with you. Okay, Miss Nicole, if you go on our website, 𝒊𝒎𝒎𝒊𝒈𝒓𝒂𝒏𝒕, or you can actually text. I'm not sure Lydia is. Oh, she's online. She probably is. But if you send a text to WhatsApp in 334-341-4475 or a regular text, someone will respond to you. But the easiest way to schedule that is to go on our website. I want to apply for VAW. Mr. Sin, once again, the contact information, you can set up a consultation. Let's evaluate your case and see if you qualify for that. Hello, Mr. Calvin Brown. How are you? Is advanced parole safe to use? That's a question for the lawyer on your case. Yeah. So without knowing, generally, if there's nothing else besides the unlawful presence, generally, I don't see any reason we travel. I'm not saying you can, generally, but because everyone's case is specific to them, let your lawyer tell you whether or not they feel comfortable with you traveling. What if the ex is not in the U.S. with me? Can I still file in the U.S. since I've been a resident for 2 years? If you've established residence in your state or in state where you live, and your ex back in Nigeria or wherever the person is, depending on your country, agrees to what we call it an answer waiver divorce in Alabama, meaning uncontested divorce, and they're waiving jurisdiction issues, then all you have to do is, and it's easier to just get a lawyer, because I just emailed the person, they sign, they scan it back to us. We don't need to have original copy, so we just can legible copies onto our database with 30 days. If it's some judges are pretty quick for their docket. Some courts, I just have to send, email the secretary like, hey, this is 30 days has passed by. Can we get a final judgment order? End of story. So as long as just your estranged spouse or soon to be ex-spouse is willing to do that, then that's fine. But divorce is, unlike immigration where I can represent anyone in any state, divorce is state specific. So the best thing you can do is, I cannot give you advice on how to go about that because I'm restricted when it comes to Well, I'm licensed in New York as well, but where I'm physically practicing is Alabama. So that's what I'm used to. So in your state, check with a lawyer to see what the procedure may be for someone who's not living in the United States. Okay. They come up with all sorts of excuses. I was in Nigeria and divorced in Nigeria. I mean, if you as long as you have met all the requirements, and that's fine. It's not like they come up with all kind of excuses. The Nigerian government is telling them what to look out for, and they have the Nigerian Matrimonial Causes Act too. It's right there. It's what the statute is. It's not something they're making up. It's just that they never paid attention to it in the past. That's just what it is. I never paid attention in the past. They still denied it. I mean, there's some that, for instance, there was a case. Y'all don't even know. um, I just because I'm just hoping that the VAR office is not going to tell. They've already told me. They've already given me warning that my emails were excessive. so, so y'all pray for me. But I'm telling you, sometimes I'm always thinking to myself, like, why am I so passionate about this thing? So I sent an email. Let me digress a little bit, and then I'll come back to that because sometimes you just have to fight. You've got to stand your ground. You know, you're telling us you've granted an expedited request of a work permit. Okay, so now you've granted the expedited request. Where's the work permit? Like, okay, and and I told them something like 2 weeks. If we haven't heard anything from them, let me know. I sent an email to USCIS at 3:59 a.m. Yes, I was still up working. That I don't. That's why for my weekends I don't play my weekends because that's when I can catch up on sleep. I'm still going to be up till God knows how long because I have a national interest waiver NIW case that has to go out with that field tomorrow. So I sent because I don't play. Like I was like, okay, what's the point of expediting the case if you're going to delay it? I think those people are just tired of me by now because less than what that was 3:59 a.m. by 7 a.m. or so, whatever. Each into we ordered a new card. I'm sure someone's like, this lady is crazy. Just let her go. And I say that because the same Vermont Service Center, I had to deal with them when we got a case. They denied a case, just like you're talking about, Ms. Binkpe, deny a case based on divorce decree. One of the things that really even rubbed me wrong was they said they checked the they checked the divorce, they checked the to see if it was recorded online. So they checked the Lagos State Judiciary to see if it was recorded online, and they could not find it. I'm laughing and I'm just thinking because you're not going to find divorce decree for a divorce that freaking happened in Anambra State in Lagos State Judiciary, Lagos State Judiciary website. So part of my response was I actually included the map of Nigeria. Like y'all missed geography class. I can tell. Y'all did not. World history did Nigeria because about Nigeria, you would know that Anambra State is not in Lagos State where you can find something on the Lagos State Judiciary website in something that happened in Anambra State. Anyway, they denied the VAR case. Filed the appeal. I mean, there was a map of Nigeria and how I think I wasn't surprised they didn't even call back and say they have to sanction this attorney because I was pissed off. Laura Concha, they remanded that case back. They had to approve that VAR case. So it was divorce decree, and so they had to. So sometimes you have to fight, depending on if you've got grounds to fight. There's sometimes you're like, you know what, no, this is not worth it. So I don't know how your case went, but have someone look at it and see if there was anything that could have been done. Let's see. Can customer divorce be verified? And if I had a court church traditional, can I use church is not traditional. Church usually you have to now they'll register in the marriage registry. But as far as traditional, there's no recordation. Some people prefer to have decrees from customary court. That's fine. That's fine. I don't care for it, and here's why. One case that we filed an appeal, it's still pending. This guy got a customary court decree from Akure, Ondo State. When I tell you that you would be, and because they were so specific, and that was, I think that was the undoing of him, or not him, of his case. There's nothing wrong with him, because when you get so specific in a case where there is no requirement for legal documentation, that is a major red flag. So they were so specific about the page number that is recorded in the customary court. Guess what? The USCIS contacted someone in their liaison office to go to Ondo State to verify whether there was anything recorded according to what he said. There wasn't. USCIS themselves came back in this denial. They came back and said, and here's the thing, that's why I always say, just know what you're doing. USCIS says they wonder why he went to such an extent, just paraphrasing, to get such a detailed customary divorce decree when all he could have done, when an affidavit would have sufficed as proof of end of customary marriage. I think I still have it. I'm probably going to post it on so y'all can see what I keep saying. That's from USCIS themselves, telling the guy that what was the whole point of going through all of this to get to, and we can't even find it because now we doubt it, when all you needed was just an affidavit. So you may not believe me, but that's okay. But there you have it. Just yeah. Pretty Liz, thank you. Thank you. I went to their website to request and they did not reply. To request what? I have an approved EAD and travel parole. How long will it take to get green card? That's not a question I can answer. What can I do when I did not receive the notice explaining USCIS action sent to me? If you've gone to a website, call. People already say they can't get anyone to talk to. So when you call, it would ask you what you want. There's different things you can say that would lead them to get you a human being. So some of the things I would say when I call is, reschedule interview, or reschedule biometrics, or something to that effect, that it would not get you to where you put in your receipt number and then it would transfer it to your human being, like not computer. Anything about how long, if your question is about how long, you're going to say I'm going to skip it. You're going to have to go to USCIS website and see their processing times there. I mistakenly wrote the receipt number and a number for my I-130 in filling my I-45. Okay, so what's your question? If your husband filed for asylum and you are a dependent, your work permit still valid if you divorce. If you get divorced, technically the work permit is not going to be valid unless you switch over to now you file your own application. If you file your own application, then that's fine. I would say if you're going to be doing that, then you want to file your own application before you go through the, because once the divorce happens, you're no longer a derivative beneficiary of his application. I mean, they're not going to come take your work permit from you, but technically that's what it is. What could make USCIS ask for more evidence for an asylee who filed for a green card? I've never had that happen in knock on wood, in almost 10 years of filing green card for asylee. I don't know. You're gonna have to wait. I found I follow up. I'm thinking you mean you filed a petition for your brother back in 2008. It was approved. It's more than 15 years. It is. Yeah. So what's your question? Colin Wood 77. Thank you for putting that up. What's your question? It is going to be 15, 16, 17 years. 200 years actually is what I like to say, but it takes a while. But Rambo, what's your question? Okay, let's go to Instagram. Sorry for that on Facebook. Hello, Mr. Funsho King. How are you? Modupe, thank you. I think so. I have this light they sent me, and I'm beginning to like it. But one thing I noticed with using this light is you can really see my grays because the other ring light, I don't think. But with this one, you can really see it. It's more like silver, and I'm kind of like I'm really feeling it. Like I didn't know it is what it is. But thank you, Lapsy. Thank you for joining from Atlanta. Nice to have you here. The lady does. Oh, the lady. Man, Cecilia's friend. She'll be back soon. The lady does asking you questions. The one bringing 20 friends from Canada. She'll come back very soon. Y'all will meet her one day. Don't worry. Oh my goodness. Don't we all have someone like that in our lives? Hello, Miss Mazala. How are you? No, there can never be any other one. That's for real. I underscore Rotiro, joining from Maryland. Thank you for joining. Okay. Okay, anyway, yeah, answer your question. Okay. Let's see. Trying not to miss another question. Can divorce affect an asylee too? I'm not sure what you're asking me. That's it's not really specific. What do you mean by can divorce? Because if you get a green card based on asylum, you're not using a divorce. There's no reason to have a divorce decree or anything. But so if you would just ask a very kind of what do you mean by can divorce affect an asylee too? Because asylum is not a marriage-based case. Share your cream plug. And no underscore blessing. What do you mean the cream plug? What is that? What does that even mean? Okay, let's see. Hello, Mr. Speechless, the one and only. I'm telling you, every time I see Mr. Speechless, Femi Speechless, it's just a vibe. The songs, I'm always like, okay, I can't lost sheep. I have to throw a party just to even just have him complete. Finance Shandy. Oh yeah, can party. Yeah, can throw a party. I know when we're celebrating you, we're going to throw a party in Maryland because he's right there. We have to call him. You gotta if you haven't listened to his vibe, just put in hashtag Femi Speechless on Instagram, and I think he's on Facebook too. Hello, Island Girl. How are you? Let's see. Thank you, Finance Jenny. Very straightforward. No business, absolutely. If you have no legal marriage, in the sense of if you have no court marriage, no registered marriage, do not go to the high court for divorce decree. Just don't. Hello, Mr. Kelvin. Love the lighting is the exception. I'm loving it too. I'm loving it too. So thank you. Save yourself the stress. Get it done in the US. That's it. How about couples who were never legally married but their passport reflects those? Yeah, when you say not legally married, I'm very almost positive you had you emalatich engagement something, because we just don't live together in Nigeria or in Africa or Caribbean. You just don't. I don't know about now. Maybe they do it now, but back then you just don't leave your parents and like, oh, but we're going to live with this guy and I'm going to have babies with him. No, it doesn't happen. I don't know if it happens now, but back then, before I left, like 2 decades ago, that wasn't. So when you said your passport, you're probably referring to the fact that you didn't have like a court wedding or a church wedding, but you had. If you had an engagement, then you were legally married, because that's what a customary marriage is. Dowry was paid, gifts were given to the bride's family, yada yada yada. That's it. That's still legal. You just don't need a high court decree, needs to decree absolute to be able to just affidavit is fine. Oh wow! Some lawyers will ask you to go to Nigerian embassy for more information on divorce decree, and it's not out of place. But you just have to. I'm just taking upon myself because, like I said, the cases I have, even some in the works that before this whole thing came to light, as oh, this is what you have to look for. That it just by grace that God will give us some favor, but because it became an issue, I just like I've got to educate myself on this, because if I'm representing primarily, I don't authenticate documents. Obviously, I'm not responsible for documents you give me, because you give it to me, that's what we give. But if right now I go through it and I say, hey, this doesn't sit well with me, this doesn't look, and we can go through that and talk about that before we submit a case. Me, I could listen when consulting Islamic marriage. Yes, you did. Yes, you did. That one you did. Um, someone went for an interview, and the officer was at. So they went to an interview themselves, and then the officer was arguing with them that because they had an affidavit for the customer right, the immigration officer told them no, that it wasn't acceptable. Sent them a notice of intent to deny. Then they came to my firm. They go, well, I've always heard you say affidavit. That's why I did an affidavit. Like, well, it's not just any kind of affidavit. So I said, okay, it looks like we're about to take this officer to school. And so that's exactly what I did. And printed everything out for them. Case law, reciprocity schedule. That do you see there's no legal documentation required? Affidavit is fine. And then the case I was talking to you guys about that they sent to me, I even took a screenshot of that. Your office also says this is what is acceptable. Anyway, long story short, her case was approved. So don't let immigration officers, when you, especially if you go without a lawyer, that's when they can try to bamboozle you. Don't bamboozle you. Don't let them tell you what the law allows. It says tell you that it's contrary to what the law allows you. I know some people like affidavit just to divorce to as proof of termination of marriage. Yes, it's not. It wasn't a documented marriage to start with. So why do you think you should have documents to show when it was terminated? That's the way to look at it. Please stop emailing. I'm telling you, they're going to block my email soon. Like, I know. And then you make it worse for them by sending it in bold red font, just in case you missed it the first time. Yeah. especially if I'm still up at 4 a.m. and I'm still dealing with you guys. It's frustrating. Please do the right thing. Why are you expediting something if you're not going to approve the darn thing? Well, anyway, they were like, I know we ain't dealing with this lady today. No, not today. Get the behind us sitting. That's probably what they're like. Just approve and let her go. And they made my day. I was happy. I was like, oh, okay. See? How hard was that? That was okay. I think Nigeria is a state in Africa and Lagos. I'm telling you, because we went on the Lagos State Judiciary website, we could not find it. You're not going to find a non-president was secret in Lagos State Judiciary. How? Well, people are about taking because I was like, what in God's name? I had to print out the map of Nigeria, like just in case. I said it has 36 states. Let me go on, like, oh, let me be sure. Came out of court. Yeah. Gets me every time someone asks if I'm from Africa and what state in Africa. Yeah. When they say things else and the kids you I'm like, oh Lord. I've been walked out of a USCIS office before. What can I say? It is what it is. Hello, Mr. Magic. I just came by to say hi to everyone. Mr. Magic, email me. I'm thinking, what about a telephonic appearance? I don't really care for it, but that's an option. Email me and let me know. What is wrong with this thing? It's not very fine. Okay. Good evening, Dora. Please, can one expedite work permit through VAR case? If as long as you have one that's pending and you've got the right category. So brings me to my next point. Someone tried to expedite the work permit they filed with the VAR case, but USCIS kept denying the expedite and saying that it could not be adjudicated. So I said, okay, send me your receipt notice. Let me even see what you're trying to expedite. They filed a C-31 work permit. There's no how USCIS is going to expedite a C-31 work permit because a C-31 is attached to a VAR approval. If your VAR case is still pending, you're not eligible for a C-31. So then, when she realized that, we now have to file I took over a case, we now have to file a C9 category work permit, and then just sent in the expedited request after we got the receipt notice. So just make sure that you even file the right category to start with before you expedite it. Miss Sabrina says, I'm inviting myself to the party. Miss Ellen actually already gave you a Nigerian, so you're good. Come on over. Can you share your skincare routine, please? My skincare routine is body butter made by 𝒊𝒎𝒎𝒊𝒈𝒓𝒂𝒏𝒕. I actually have the video on my personal page. For real. I mean, it's body butter. I make my own body butter. I started making body butter when TJ was born because he's got very sensitive skin. So I needed everything broke him out. So I went to YouTube and tried to figure out what was going to work on his skin. And fast forward, thank God, 14 years later, that's the same thing he still uses that doesn't break him out. And if you look at TJ's skin too, even my oldest kid. So it's all natural oils, nothing refined, raw cocoa butter, raw shea butter. What else? I make my own body butter. Okay. Good evening, Lord Boy. How are you? I think Mr. Speechless. I think he maybe he signed off. Yeah, I'm telling you. If you're not snow friendly, how will you come with us again? We're still going to Canada. I'm telling you, Canada. But 𝒊𝒎𝒏𝒂𝒏𝒕 before the snow comes though. But anyway, we'll see. No, it's not summer. No, I'm sending a sanctuary. You can sit down and have 200 seats. If you now we're doing summer, we're doing summer here. We're doing summer, but although cold in Canada is nobody's mate though. Hello, Miss I am Busalami. How are you? I want treats for summer. No, it's not. Still traumatized, but it's not. Okay. All right. Let's see. Any of the comments? Okay. Hello, Miss Deanne Signatures. How are you? Good evening, Joanna. Ooh, from the lovely island of Kids. Oh, in the Caribbean. Good evening. Thank you for joining. Welcome. How my 10 years? I have my 10 years green card. Can I file for my taxes separately now? Because my husband is always delaying. I can't give you tax advice. But if you're looking to still file for citizenship and based on 3 years, then that's one of the things you want to do together. If you're going to be filing based on 5 years, then I don't really fuss much about taxes when it's based on 5 years and no marital union. So that's all I can actually say on that point. Okay. How hard or easy is it to reactivate a green card? A friend, after an F2 interview at the embassy, was told to have his petitioner, old man who now lives in Nigeria, to establish U.S. domicile. Oh, if I understand what you're asking, so it basically looks like the petitioner is a green card holder, and got his green card and has been in Nigeria for God knows how long, filed for his son, and now they see that he actually was not. They're probably seeing that the petitioner is deemed to have abandoned his permanent residency. If that's the case, then he's probably going to have to start all over again himself. So that's something they want to sit down with the lawyer to discuss. Can my younger sister, 16 years, use her B1, B2 visa to get a green card without waiting 16 years by her citizen brother? No. My son's progress has been showing 3 weeks to decision for the past 2 months now. That's why I don't go with that. Should I be worried maybe his case file is missing or it's just yours? I don't ever go with their estimate. No, you're going to run yourself crazy. So that's why I don't. Hello, Jenny, for joining in from Missouri. Thank you for joining. I have EAD based on TPS. If I apply for EAD with VAL, will it be approved? EAD is as long the fact that you have one category of EAD does not prevent you from another category that you may be eligible for, as long as you're eligible based on the underlying petition or application. I'm a green card holder and I was married to a U.S. citizen, and my wife filed I-130 for my son back home, and the case has been pending, and now my wife filed for divorce. What would happen to the I-130? This is what's going to happen. Sit down with a lawyer to discuss that case. Okay, let's see. All right, people, I think that's about all we can take for tonight. Let's see. Is it possible to file for TPS and asylum afterwards? The one doesn't prevent you from filing for the other. Hi, can I extend my 6-month stay? You can always. I'm assuming you have a B1, B2 visitor visa. If you've got supporting evidence and you file it before the expiration of the 6 months for another 6 months, generally you can. I will still need you for my asylum case. I have gotten my EAD, but I don't know when my case will. Okay. Okay. All right, everyone. So remember on Tuesday we agreed in faith that this month is going to be favorably different. We're still on that track, and so whenever we come together again, every Tuesday, Thursdays, whoever has a testimony to share, make sure you're able to share it. And if you want to join in on the video, just to encourage others with your story, because we're believing that it's going to be a September to remember. We're going to look back and say, yes, indeed, it was favorably different, and it will be to our favor. And this whole process can be very, very, it is exhausting, to say the least. But as long as God gives you the strength to keep going, just keep going. And I always tell, and I told one of my clients today, people will say, I'm going to come in 2 months, close your case, can you go lawyer your shit? It's not like that. There's hardly anything the lawyer can do once you submit your case. I mean, it's only so much a lawyer can do when we submit your case. But the one thing you can do for yourself is to not compare your case to somebody else's case. Because you didn't, even if your cases were filed in the same day, you didn't come to this world together. You're not going to run your own, your destinies are not the same. Even siblings don't have the same, even twins don't have the same destinies. How much more you people are not related? Don't let somebody else's story of, you know, sway you in the wrong direction or make you lose focus, because that's what the devil is an expert in, making distracting you so you lose focus about what it is that you've put it before the altar of grace. You've put it before God. Leave it there. If you're going to worry about it, then take it back. But if you leave it at the altar of grace, why are you taking back the worry? I'm a firm believer, and I say that all the time. There's nothing God starts that He would not finish. But one thing He hasn't promised anyone is the time frame. Your timeline is not going to be the same as mine. So do yourself that favor so you can have peace of mind, and don't work with someone else's timeline. But just know that what if God started it in your life, He is going to finish it. And this month will be a month that we're going to all remember that we had accelerated blessings and uncommon favor. So anytime you have somebody to thank you to share, send us a text, put in the comment section, hey, I want to get on because I want to share stuff. Am I get on video and say, so that any question? That's not the point, because that would not be nice. But anyway, hang in there, keep praying. Pray more, worry less. Let God do the rest.